Hi, Scratch fans. This is Bill Stannard from Yes Learning at the St. Louis Science Center with another of our Learning sessions. This one titled Scratch Lesson Number 4, Social Distancing. And we're going to explore how the COVID-19 virus works and how to protect against it by the practice of social distancing. So let me go ahead and run the simulation for you so you can see what it's like by clicking on the green button first. So there we have all the healthy green cells. And once an infected cell clicks on one of the green cells, it too becomes infected. So you can see how the virus spreads. Well, we're going to take a look at how to build this simulation. Should be fun. Come on along. First thing I'm going to do is go back into the Scratch building area, and you can see the code we're going to be building. I'm going to go up to File, and I'm going to go to New. We're going to create a new project, and I'm going to give it the name Social Distance 2, because I've already built another one, so I've got to give it the number 2. So I'm going to hit Enter. The first thing we're going to have to do is create a healthy cell. So I'm going to get rid of Scratch the Cat here, and I am going to create a sprite by clicking on the green cat down here and the paintbrush, which will automatically take us to our easel here where we can create a sprite with our paintbrush. Well, I want our healthy cell to be green, so I'm going to click up here where the fill color right now is purple, and I'm going to pick green. So I'm going to drag the color slider over till I get to green, and I'm going to make it a very saturated green, so I'm going to move this all the way over to 100. So this is a nice greeny green. Okay, so I'm going to click here. I'm now going to pick the circle tool, and I'm going to come over to where that little bullseye is. I'm going to hold down the Shift key because I want a perfect circle. And I'm not going to make it very big. I'm going to make it just about this big. Okay? So now we have a lovely green cell, and it has a black outline around it. And I'm going to change the sprite's name to Cell, because that's what it is, C-E-L-L. And I'm going to change its nice green costume to, when it's healthy, to the word healthy. Okay, H-E-A-L-T-H-Y, healthy. So we have a nice healthy cell. I'm now going to come over here to this nice healthy cell, and I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to duplicate it. Boom, now we have healthy and healthy 2. I'm going to call healthy 2 infected. And this is a cell that's going to be sick. And I'm going to change its color from green to red. So I'm going to click here on Fill, and I'm going to move the slider all the way over to red. Okay, and if I click out here, you'll see we now have red as the fill. I'm going to grab my paint bucket, and I'm going to come over here and click on the cell, and it is now red, but it has kind of a black outline. I want that to be red also, so I'm going to click over here on the select arrow, and I'm going to zoom in by coming over here and grabbing the little, what looks like a little magnifying glass with a plus in it, and magnify it so it's a little bit bigger, and I'm going to click on the outside, and I'm going to come over here to where it says outline. I'm going to click there, and I'm going to pick brightness, red. Red is here, saturation, click, and now the entire one is red. And I want to put a couple of spikes on this because this is a coronavirus, and corona is Latin for crown. So if I come over here and pick the line tool, and if I come over and draw a line that starts over here, goes through the center, comes out the other side, then I do another one that starts here, goes through the center, comes out the other side, do it again over this way, okay, and then here I'm going to do another one. So now it kind of looks like it has a crown around it and all these little spikes sticking out. It also looks like a mine that they used in World War II that would float on the surface of the water. So maybe you can think of another way of using this drawing if you're going to make a battleship game. Okay, so we've got our healthy costume and we've got our infected costume. So let's put these to work and build some code. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it selected with the infected costume and click on the code tab here, and let's build some code for this guy. Well, because we're doing a simulation, which is a lot like a game, we're always going to start with the green flag, and that is an event. So if you click on events and then come over here and grab the green flag, first piece of code, and you guys know this, the first piece of code in a game or a simulation is always the repeat forever code, okay? And that is going to be a control. So we click on control, and here's the forever loop. Almost every single game you'll find starts with a forever loop somewhere. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, what do we want this guy to do forever? Well, we want him to move, right? Okay, so let's go up and get a move. So we click on motion, and we're going to have him move. Okay, I'm going to put this inside the forever loop, and I'm going to have him move 3 steps. Okay, why 3 steps? Well, I figured that this works pretty well. It doesn't go too fast or too slow, so I'm going to type a 3 in there. And I want, if he hits the edge of the screen, I want him to bounce, okay? This is the way you start a lot of games, okay? So you start him moving and you have him bounce. So here we go. Now, we haven't written very much code, but we want to give it a try, see if it works. So let's click on the green flag. There he goes. Boink. Okay, he hit one side, he bounced off. Boink. He hit another side. We could put a sound effect in here, but unfortunately we're going to have so many of these guys flipping around, you would hear nothing but noise. So we're not going to add a sound effect to this one. Okay, now this is a little bit boring because all he's doing is going back and forth. So we need to add something here. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the code. Okay, and what I want to add is when he starts, I want him to start at a random position somewhere on the screen. I don't always want him to start in the same place. So again, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to grab the code that says go to a random position, and I'm going to put that outside of the forever loop. It's going to be the very first block under the green flag block. Okay? Not only do I want him to start in a random position, but I want him to be headed in a random direction. And there's a really cool way to do that. We're going to have him point in a particular direction. So here we go. Point in direction. Put that in under go to random position. Okay, don't forget, these two are outside of the forever loop. And I want him to point not at 90 degrees, but in a random direction. Well, after a while, you'll know where to look for these things. Right now, we go to Operators and Random. Okay, I'm going to put that random in here right on top of the 90. Okay, and I want to pick a number at random from 1 to 360. Okay, why did I pick 360? Anybody know the answer to that? Yeah, that's how many degrees there are in a circle. So now it's going to go off, and every time I play this, it's going to go off in a different direction. Let's give it a try. You never want to write too much code before giving it a try. So we're going to click on the green flag. Boing! Okay, there it goes, off in a completely different direction. Now it's going to bounce off the corners, and if we stop it and then start it again, every time we do it, stop it, start it again, it's going to go in a different direction. So that's kind of what we want. All right, so there's our first big block of code.